Hey everyone, what's going on? It is Foul Play here, and we're back again for another modern video. So for today's video, well, apologies, but the voice of the recording messed up with my last 3 matches of this league, and I had no audio, so I'm doing a real retape over it. So here we lost the Darrell against Nathan Lips. I believe I just mulliganed. Yeah, we just mulligan here. End up keeping this one, ditch a land source, and get straight into it. So yeah, and also I didn't stream on Thursday. I just feeling extremely tired and not quite up to it. All right, so we go ahead and play our Hallowed Fountain here. This is sort of like only worse. Oh, we actually lead on Windswept Teeth. Interesting. Okay. Not quite sure what my logic behind that was, but oh well, we did it anyway. Opponent goes Stomping Ground into Verdant Catacombs. I'm looking at this. I'm currently thinking Jund right now. So the plan is just what do I go slow for? I'm playing around Liliana at the Vale here. Just eating my Invisible Stalker for free. So I'm looking to have Dryad Arbor available on the back of Invisible Stalker. And my opponent just untaps into a Blood Moon, which is obviously a really bad card for us. Especially given our mana, given the state of play, things like that. I don't really have much of a choice here. I have to pitch the Invisible Stalker at this point. And then fetch Dryad Arbor and just cross our fingers. But obviously Dryad Arbor is going to be very, very vulnerable. Oh, we went for planes. Wait, what? That doesn't seem right. Oh, my plan was Lurus to hand. I'm not sure that's right. I think we could just go for Dryad Arbor. And if they've got the Lightning Bolt or the Stomp, you just boned. They had a second Blood Moon. So that's pretty much game over at that point. Yeah. So onto sideboarding. Looks like we're versing a Ponza deck. We're going to want to bring in our Seal of Cleansing and our Force of Vigors. That's probably about it, really. Do I go for Prismatic Ending as well or not? So obviously Stubborn Dinar has some applicability, about as much as Force. They're like a little bit different, but they also have a similar effect here. It could just be that, yeah, I think Spider Umbra is a reasonable board out. It might leave me a little bit light on green sources. Minusing a land is questionable against Ponza, but we could maybe do Hallowed Fountain. I do like cutting Hallowed Fountain over the other ones, if possible. We've decided to keep on Blood Moon. -1 Rancor. I think minus Rancor is also reasonable. Disynergy with Force of Vigor. But obviously in my current list I don't have a basic forest, so post Blood Moon it's an uncastable effect. This hand looks great. We've got a Temple Garden, we've got 2 creatures, and we've got some very, very good auras. Interaction via Seal of Cleansing and Force Negation. So obviously the key element, as for most of my games, is this one's missing mana. I'm pretty sure we end up taking this to a game 3 though. Yeah, I don't know what this big pause is about from my opponent's side. It's not like Glade Cover Scout is unfathomable. Maybe he's off doing something, who knows. Checking their DMs or some crap. Alright, so of course we break on mana, as is customary for Bogle players. We'll just jam the Ethereal Armor, we'll just attack. Hope to get a bit luckier next turn. It's very like odd from my opponent. Game 1 he kept like... I get a read on Ponza, right? It appears like he's on Ponza, but it also appears like a Ponza that kept a hand without Utopia Sprawl or Arbor Elf, which seems very, very odd, in my opinion. And yeah, second game, again, no 1-drop. Very bizarre. Alright, we do actually hit mana here. Now we've got an interesting choice. Do we go the basic and play Seal of Cleansing? Okay, I'll just go for the Staggering Insight. This is fine against Blood Moon because we have the interaction for it, but it's very bad against Magus of the Moon if my opponent's going to go for that one. Overall, I think it's probably the best line is to make them have the Blood Moon as opposed to the Magus. This also allows us to start drawing other effects, maybe drawing some fetches to let us hit our basic drops in the future. My opponent is tapping mana now. I think he goes for the Stomp. Alright. So we naturally draw a basic, which is very arsey on our part. Like sitting here looking at my face in the replay and looking very, very smug at just ripping the planes off of that. Alright, what's going on here? Cool, so opponent plays a Scavenging Ooze and just passes back to us. We hit flying, we play a Seal of Cleansing for a bit of extra damage. We attack in the air. Opponent cracking. We could have a Nature's Claim here, potentially. Currently, we can't hardcast Force of Negation, which I'm not a massive fan of, but we did rip basic planes twice, which is even arsier. Alright, so opponent would obviously have to have a very impressive turn not to just win here. He hits Bloodbraid Elf. So you've now seen Blood Moon, Bloodbraid Elf, Bone Crusher Giant, and Scavenging Ooze. We can confirm that this is Ponza. On the draw, obviously, Force Negation goes up a bit in strength. Yeah, I think cutting Invisible Stalker is fair because relying on a 2-mana creature is pretty frustrating, but also having 8 creatures in the deck is also quite frustrating. On the play against Ponza, yeah, we can consider Suppression Field. It's really good against their Arbor Elf and their fetch lands. Here, I could see myself just bringing back in the Rancor, maybe. It's possible. Yeah, not sure. I think I misevaluated Prismatic Ending during this league as well. I was like trying to cast it and it was like X equals 0. I'm like, I tapped a white mana though. Yes, X equaled 0, but that didn't mean that the number of colors spent to cast it was 0, you know? X was just the added effect onto the side. Okay. So I think maybe this league was not a fair justification for Prismatic Ending. So we literally like hit the nuts here of like double basic and all blue and white cards. This would only be bad against a pillage type hand. It's extremely fortunate, especially being on the draw. Alright, sweet. So it looks like I was considering Hallowed Fountain there for a sec. You can do that to play around pillage though. Like they could shock a Stomping Ground in and then pillage away my island and I might be a little bit upset. I think in which case I'd probably Hallow Fountain into Arcane Flight and just attack for 2 in the air and then establish everything off planes afterwards. There's the Blood Moon. There's the Lightning Bolt. Alright, so it appears like Pillage is not the play in the meta currently. Yeah, I definitely like Ethereal Armor here over the Hyena Umbra. I don't think there's any reason to play it slower. I think we actually get very, very ballsy on our draws again in this game, even though we've like got a very good hand under our head. I'm pretty sure we hit something quite good in the next draw or two. This is a point where your Ponza player is probably fuming. Alright, let's see if we can fast forward to some action. Bloodbraid Elf. Elf hits Utopia Sprawl. We untap, we hit Rancor. Rancor is dead at this current stage. Land in tapped. Attack for 6. We've now established Vigilance. It's going to be very difficult for our opponent. Look at the power of Sentinels, those people. I love this card so much. Alright, so they get Elder Gargoth, which does have Reach. It does make tokens or draw them cards. Whatever their forte is. But yeah, we're gonna just jam down some more auras, keep attacking with this big fat creature, which is representing lethal at this point. This opponent forced to block. So now, like, if my opponent has Enchantment Destruction, can get rid of my flying, they could maybe stall the game out for a little while longer. But with like 2 cards in hand and whatever's going on here, we're pretty favored. All right, so there's the lurist hand from me. I think let me just put up my little border as well. There we go. That way, yeah, you don't have to look at as much of an ugly VLC player thing. All right, so they like hardcast a Fury, which is pretty pointless. Creature doesn't have flying or anything. I think at this point, do they let us attack or do they just concede? Okay, they concede. Yeah, so that was pretty fortunate for us. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I do apologize about the tardiness of the video and for me missing the stream. But yeah, as always, I appreciate your support. Have a wonderful day, guys. I'll see you next time.